Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome to Scott Candle Horsemanship. So we are here with Pal. Pal's an older horse and he's really stiff laterally in his neck. And we're going to do some stretching with him. I'm going to start to give him an idea of what I would like him to do. And so we'll just basically start with some flex. He's already trying really hard there, which is nice. But I need to kind of have him do it when I ask him to do it. So we're just going to gently flex him around. I'm just going to see if he can give me a little bit more here without moving his feet. Just a little bit more. I have to be aware of him. I have to know how much he can do. And as soon as I get a try, I'll take that. He moved his feet, but then he stopped his feet, and then he moved his neck and his head around. So I want to be able to just kind of make his neck and shoulders and body independent from having to move his feet around. And just like us, as we get older, like myself, we get stiffer and stiffer and stiffer with age. So I can only go as far as he is able to at this point. We're going to try to work on this so we can get him be able to come all the way back to his back leg. I'm not going to release him if he moves his feet. The release only happens when he releases his neck and kind of, there we go. I'll take that. It's kind of his neck and shoulder that we want to start to release and come around. But we have to give him an idea of what we want, and that is, bend here, bend your rib cage around. You don't need to move your feet. We're not asking for that. Once we get to where he kind of has a pretty good idea of what we're asking, then we'll bring the carrots in, and that'll help be an incentive to just try to go a little bit further. So he's kind of just looking back here, not trying too hard. But I'd like to see if he can come a little further. I'm not pulling on him, I'm just kind of keeping a real easy, steady pressure and see if he can kind of come around and release himself off of it. And that's not through moving his feet. Let's see if he can just give me just a touch more. We're right at the kind of the borderline on what he can do. I'm just going to stay with him and keep this pressure on him. When he stops, I loosen up a little bit. And to just ask, because what's actually happening is he's actually going against this and bracing against this thing rather than letting go. There's the change. I'm going to give him that one because I need him to start thinking about letting go, not bracing against that. When he's moving his body around, he's bracing against it. He's trying to get away from it by going into the pressure. This should be super easy and gentle to get him to come around. Here we go. Nice. That was much better. So we'll let him take a break there for a second and figure out that's what we wanted. See, if he had an itch back here, he would reach around and he would scratch it. But if you watch them, they can only do it, until they get it done, and then they can't do it anymore. It's kind of like we can touch our toes for like a half a second, but we can't sit there. Most of us can't sit there and hold and touch our toes for a long period of time. So that's just what we're trying to do, is get him to stretch that shoulder, stretch that neck, and use his mind to do it. Not, there you go, buddy, almost. He's right, almost there. But see, there's where he starts to stiffen up. Instead of yielding to it, he's trying to go back against it. There we go. So he gets the release when he releases. So guys, these horses, they're big, strong, there's a lot of muscle in them, but they can get really messed up if we treat them wrong. If we go yanking on these halters and lead ropes, bridles, we can really kind of mess up a lot of the structures that are up here in their neck and head, and we want to be careful not to do that. So we always want to teach them how to come off of these things so we don't ever have to do that. I'm not saying that sometimes it's not going to happen. The horse may kind of jump or spook at something, and we don't really have a choice but to bring him back around. But we really got to try to be careful and try to be aware that we can kind of, injure these guys up here if we go get a little bit too tough with them. You can see I'm doing this really lightly. And I'm just going to kind of hold here and wait for him to see if he can just give me a little bit more. Maybe make a little try this way. There we go. That was nice. If I'm pulling kind of straight back along his body, then I'm going to get him to break here at the pole. He's going to turn his nose this way. He's not necessarily going to be able to bend his neck around because that's going to would bring the rein out, if that makes sense. So if I feel like he's kind of stiff, maybe in this side or this side here, I might open him up, which is what I do when I do riding, is just kind of open this up as far as I can to get that side over there to really stretch out. There, that was nice. And letting them take those breaks, because this is as much mental as it is physical. If he's locked up mentally and kind of thinking that he needs to be stiff, he's going to stiffen that neck up. And then we're just trying to pull up against something real firm. He kind of looks back. When he looks back and he kind of comes to right here, he's only kind of looking here with his head. I'm going to open him up a little bit and see if that shoulder on the other side can open up some more. They kind of want him to bring his nose out here more without walking. Let's see if we can go just a little bit more. And feet placement is a factor in this also. So he may have to readjust his feet here in order to get what I'm asking him. He's kind of got that right front foot stepped forward, so he's not going to be able to flex as far this way. So I'm just waiting for him just to get, there we go, just to give a little bit. See, I have to be aware of that, where his feet are. If he's standing like this, he can't move as far this way. He can go a lot further this way. So I have to be aware when I'm doing these stretches which way his feet are. And again, the more that we do this and the more that we're aware of it, the more that the horse is going to start to trust us, because he understands that we're aware. Now, he can't go quite as far because that left front's just a little bit in front. And he might even take a step with it and move it over just so that he can release. I kind of like to see him just come out here just a little bit. I'm just going to stay with him until he stops his feet. See if he can just kind of reach out here just a little bit. He might want to take that left foot and do that, but then the rest of his body followed. Now there's the change right there is what we're looking for. He stopped his feet and then he released his neck. That's what we need to teach him how to do. See, his neck needs to be independent from his feet. And it's only happening because he's stiff. That's all. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use a carrot here now and see if we can get some more flexibility out of him. Like him kind of try to stretch right there's a good try. Now see, he picked up that back foot. Did you see that? And that wasn't because that was about as far as he could go. That's why that foot came up off the ground. He wasn't trying to move. He didn't have a choice, and he kind of had to pick that up in order to get his body around. So we're back here now. So I think we've made pretty good strides already. That was his furthest yet. But we have to be aware of how far they can go, guys. We can't just pull them around and just expect them to come all the way over here today. We're going to try that again, and we'll try the other side and see how he... Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try this side. Yeah. You see, that foot came up off the ground. That was right at about as far as he could possibly go, but we got back here, guys, so we gained probably 6 or 8 inches on his flexibility today. That doesn't mean that he's not going to be stiff next time we do it tomorrow or whenever he gets it done again, but it will mean that we're on the right track, and at least he's trying. And anyway, I hope that helped, guys. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Thanks.